1. Hook. Imagine losing thousands of dollars in a single month because of a simple oversight in your AWS setup. This isn't just a nightmare, it happened to a startup I know. Let's break down how to avoid this costly mistake and keep your cloud expenses in check. 1. Misconfiguration can lead to unexpected costs, affecting your bottom line. Understanding AWS pricing is crucial, but it's not just about knowing the rates. It's about managing your resources effectively. Every service has its quirks, and failing to grasp them can result in bills that make your head spin. 3. The simple explanation: AWS charges you based on usage. This includes compute time, storage, data transfer, and more. It sounds straightforward, but the pricing structure can get complicated. Here's the breakdown: charged by hour or second, depending on the type. Charged by the amount of data stored and requests made. Inbound is usually free, but outbound can cost you. Everything adds up quickly. A single misconfigured resource can lead to over-provisioning, unnecessary data transfer, or even leaving services running when they're no longer needed. 4. Real-world example: let's take a look at a startup I worked with last year. They launched an application on AWS, expecting to spend around $300 a month. They set up an EC2 instance for their web server and an RDS instance for their database. Here's where it went wrong. They chose an M5. Large EC2 instance, which costs about $0.096 per hour. But they forgot to shut it down after hours. That's $69 a month just for the server alone. Additionally, they stored 1 terabyte of data in S3, which costs about $23 per month. But the real kicker? They were inadvertently sending over 500 gigabytes of data out of AWS each month due to an unoptimized API that was running in the background. At 9 cents per gigabyte, that alone racked up to $45. Their total bill skyrocketed to over $500 in just 1 month. 5. What to do instead to avoid falling into this costly trap? Follow these actionable steps. 1. Choose the right instance size. Evaluate your application's requirements. Start with a smaller instance type and scale up as needed. Use the AWS pricing calculator to estimate costs before deployment. 2. Implement auto-scaling. Set up auto-scaling groups for your EC2 instances. Define minimum and maximum instance counts based on traffic. This way, you only pay for what you need. 3. Enable CloudWatch monitoring. Use CloudWatch to monitor resource usage. Set alarms for unusual spikes in usage. For example, alert if EC2 CPU utilization exceeds 80% for 5 minutes. 4. Schedule instance shutdowns. If you don't need your instances running 24/7, schedule shutdowns during off hours. Use AWS Lambda to automate this process. For example, shut down instances after 8 p.m. and start them back up at 8 a.m. 5. Regularly review your costs. Use AWS Cost Explorer to analyze your spending. Identify any unexpected charges each month and adjust accordingly. Set budgets and alerts to notify you when you approach your limits. 6. Common mistakes. 1. Over-provisioning resources. Choosing larger instances than necessary. Start small and use auto-scaling. 2. Neglecting unused resources. Leaving old instances or buckets running. Regularly audit your AWS environment and terminate unused resources. 3. Ignoring data transfer costs. Not optimizing data transfer between services. Use VPC endpoints and minimize public data transfer. 4. Outdated security groups. Allowing excessive inbound and outbound traffic. Review and tighten your security groups regularly. 5. Not taking advantage of pricing plans. Missing out on reserved instances or savings plans. Analyze usage patterns and consider reserved pricing for predictable workloads. 7. Quick checklist. To ensure you're on the right track, use this quick checklist. Evaluate instance types before launching. Implement auto-scaling for your EC2 instances. Set up CloudWatch alarms for monitoring. Schedule shutdowns for non-production hours. Regularly review AWS Cost Explorer. 8. Summary plus CTA and summary. AWS can be a fantastic tool for startups, But it's crucial to manage costs effectively to avoid financial pitfalls. Misconfigured resources can lead to unnecessary expenses. By following the steps we discussed, you can keep your cloud spending under control. If you found this video helpful, please leave a comment below sharing your experiences with AWS costs. Don't forget to subscribe for more practical tech insights. Bonus practical tip: if you're unsure what to pick, start with the simplest option that ships today. Then measure for 7 days, latency, errors, deploy time, and cost. Only upgrade when metrics force the decision, not fear. Quick recap: keep it simple, avoid over-engineering, and build the smallest thing that works. If you want a real demo or checklist, comment demo. Subscribe for practical AWS, DevOps, Docker, and Kubernetes lessons.